Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Endless Summer collection from KB Shimmer. This collection's been out for a while. It is available right now, so in the description box below I will link the KB Shimmer site, I will link their Instagram page, and I will link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from this collection. So there are 8 new polishes and 1 re-promoted polish in this collection, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have Anything Is Popsicle, and this is described as a pink leaning cherry jelly base loaded with micro holographic flakies and rainbow color shifting flakies. So here's our first coat of Anything Is Popsicle. This covers pretty well on this first coat. It's not completely opaque, so I am going to go in for a second coat, and that does go for generally all of these. Formula is good. It's not too thick or too thin. I didn't have any kind of running, pooling, or staining, and again, that does go for all of these. So here's our second coat, and that does cover completely in 2 coats for me. Depending on how picky you are, you might want to go in for a third coat on all of these. But there is 2 coats. Up next we have Are You Kitten Me, and this is described as an orange jelly with color shifting flakies and gold to green to copper color shifting flakies with tiny holographic flakes as well. Here's our first coat of Are You Kitten Me? So this one also has the same easy to work with formula. These flakes are on the larger side, so sometimes they can hang off the end of your nails and you're going to have to tap those back on your nails or swipe them off just so they don't snag whenever they dry. Here's our second coat, and that does cover completely in 2 coats for me, but again, if you're super picky, you might want to go in for 3. All of these are going to dry with a pretty good bit of texture. These flakes are on the larger side, so you will want a thicker top coat to smooth things out. So there is 2 coats. Next up we have a love-heat relationship, and this is described as a pale champagne, almost rose gold jelly with color shifting flakies in orange, gold, and green. This one also has aqua at extreme angles and micro holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of a love-heat relationship. This one has the same formula as everything else in this collection. This is one though that I think most people would prefer 3 coats on, but it's so close to my skin tone that I was very happy with 2. Again, this is going to dry textured, so you'll definitely want top coat, and I assume all of these would look gorgeous with a matte top coat as well. Removal isn't difficult as far as having to scrub it off like a glitter would be, but it does get very messy on the skin. You'll see throughout this video I have glitter just simply everywhere from removing it, so just bear that in mind. But there is 2 coats. Up next we have Living My Zest Life, and this is described as a lemon yellow jelly loaded with color shifting flakes that go from orange to gold to lime with hints of green and aqua at extreme angles, and this one also has hollow micro flakes. Here is our first coat of Living My Zest Life. This one covers pretty well here on this first coat, but again I am going to go ahead and show you what 2 coats looks like today. The formula is the same as the rest of them, very smooth and easy to work with, a lot of flakes out. This one I feel like I didn't see as much of the flakes, this and the next one, as you do in the darker ones, and that's just the nature of the flake, but they are there and they are beautiful. So this one is opaque enough on 2 coats for me. I could definitely see somebody wanting a 3rd coat though. Again, you're going to want top coat to smooth this out, and removal is not difficult, but it can be messy. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have Something to Talk About, and this one is described as a chartreuse leaning lime green jelly with color shifting flakes that go from a green to an orange. This one also has those micro holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Something to Talk About. This one has the same formula as everything else in this collection, a very smooth, easy to work with formula. KB Shimmer also has the rounded paddle brushes, makes it very easy to get close to your cuticle without having any spillage into your cuticle area, so I do appreciate that. So here is our second coat, and that does cover completely in 2 coats for me. Again, you might want to go in for 3 if you're super picky, but there's so much happening in these polishes that it distracts from any kind of nail line. Nobody else besides maybe yourself would notice them. You will again want top coat here to smooth everything out, and removal is messy, so there is 2 coats. Next up we have Pretty Sure, and this one is described as an aqua blue jelly with color shifting flakes that go from orange to gold to green, along with those micro holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Pretty Sure. Formula is the same as everything else in the collection. These larger flakes can dry with some texture. They can hang off your nail, so I would recommend a thicker top coat and tapping or swiping those larger flakes off if you do get them to hang off the edge of your nail. This one, I'm going to show you what 2 coats looks like today. Whenever I wore it though, I did wear it in 3, so 2 to 3 coats for generally all of these polishes. The flakes that are in here do stand out really nicely against this base color, and they are super shifty. And again, just like everything else, removal is going to be pretty messy. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have Soul Blue, and this is a primary blue jelly with the color shifting flakes and the micro holographic flakes. So here's our first coat of Soul Blue. This is the re-promoted shade in the collection, so it does have a slightly different formula. It's much more, not much more, but it is more opaque than the rest of the polishes that we've looked at. I would say this one's the only solid 2-coater, but everything else could potentially use a 3rd coat. But it does have the same elements, it does have the same flakes, it does have the same formula, just a slight bit more opaque. You're still going to want top coat to hide any kind of texture, and removal is still going to be a little bit messy. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have Zoom with a View, and this is a blurply colored jelly with those color shifting flakes that go from copper to red to green. This one also has those micro holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Zoom with a View. So this one is what I think the last polish would look like in this formula, if that makes sense. A little bit more sheer, but everything else is near identical. It does have a slight bit more of a purple tone to it than the previous polish, but same idea. This one is also opaque in 2 coats for me, but again, if you're super picky, you might want to go in for 3. I think the flakes stand out absolute best in this one and the next polish. Again, you are going to want top coat to kind of smooth everything out and bring a nice glossy finish, and removal will be messy, but there is 2 coats. And lastly for today we have Hanging with My Grill Friends, and this one is described as a charcoal jelly packed with those color shifting flakes that go from orange to gold to green, and this one also has those hollow micro flakes. And here's our first coat of Hanging with My Grill Friends. This one covers pretty good on this first coat. This is another one, this one and A Love-Heat Relationship are the 2 that I could see most people wanting to do 3 coats for. This is a black base. I do recommend working in thinner coats for it, and then to get those flakes to stand up to its full potential anyway, and then being that I would recommend working in thin coats, you might need to go in for 3, but I am just going to go ahead and show you what 2 coats looks like today. I was happy with the coverage. Same formula, same like finish, so you will want top coat, and removal will be difficult, but there is 2 coats. So I do have 2 favorites from this collection, the first one being Something to Talk About. I think this is a beautiful, pretty ugly color. It does lean on my skin tone more of a yellow than a green, but it's definitely that kind of chartreusey vibe to it, but I do have more olivey green undertones. So I do think somebody that has more of a red undertone would get more of a green look out of this, and I think that's like a fun and I don't know, kind of like exciting surprise. But I really like how this one looks both in the bottle and on my nails. And then the other favorite for me is Pretty Sure. I wore this one for a solid 10 days during the move, and I really, really liked it. I put it on my toes. I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous polish. I love the shifty flakes that are in all of these. You can't really go wrong with any of them. They all have beautiful, fantastic formulas. It's more of just a color preference. So these are the two that stood out for me. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up or if you already have, and let me know what your favorite was from the video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time. Bye.